Yeah, what's up? Okay. I just woke up. I missed Basketball Wives. I recorded it. And then I started watching Lala's Full Court Life. And I don't review her show because I feel like it's not the type of show that you review. But I do like Lala's show. And they brought up a very important topic that I don't think I've yet made a whole video about. And that's what I'm about to do, which is about the whole black men not wanting to date black women because they feel that they're not as adventurous in their lives and as adventurous in sex. They are bitches, they have bad attitudes, all this stuff. And I just have to come and talk about this shit because I think this shit is hilarious. I think it is so funny. I'm gonna say why I think it's funny. It's because you're dealing with two totally different mindsets when you're dealing with a Caucasian person, a white person, and people that are of African descent, people that are black who are identified as black, especially women. We are at the bottom of a totem pole, okay? We are literally the less desirable of the women. Out of Asian women, white women, Spanish women, we are at the bottom. As a full-blown black woman, you aren't, you aren't considered as attractive in mainstream society. So you have to have your Beyoncés, who they make look 2 shades lighter than she originally was, who constantly has to wear blonde hair, and all these black women in Hollywood all have to get their, black chick nose jobs that they all get. You want to go down the line, you can go check out as many black actresses and musicians as you want to, and I'm sure a higher percentage of them do not have the same nose that they came out their mama with. And this all comes from this self-hate shit that we tend to not realize that we do because it is so embedded in who we are to dislike ourselves. Can you, ever imagine a white man? Really? Like your average Joe white man saying, oh, I don't date white women because they don't have big asses. Most men, not just black men, but most men, period, like women with a nice ass, okay? And flat asses are not always a part of that, but you never hear them saying that they're not about to date their women because of something like that. And it just pisses me off because I feel as a black woman that we go through so many different trials and tribulations just like black men. How is it that you expect us to put on the white girl, her happy-go-lucky, everything, everything's fine and whatever you want to do. Like, you don't understand how... Are you like that as a black man? Can you walk around in the same shoes as a white man? Like, I really have to ask black men that question that always say they don't want to date a black woman because she has a bad attitude. Black people as a whole are a little bit more rough, a little bit more gritty. And this is because we have been through some shit. And not even with the ancestor, not even with your ancestral stuff like, slavery and all that. Every day, walking out your door, okay? You have to put on thick skin at your job, wherever you're going, when you're around a bunch of white people, especially when you live in the South. You are always constantly aware that you may be the only black person or one of the few black people in a room. Okay? And it just pisses me off. And it makes me laugh because I just can't believe after all the years of the things that African Americans have been through together. And I'm not, saying that we're, better than any other race. I don't agree with that shit at all. I feel like we are amazing and great in our own right. In our own right. We have been through a lot. And to still thrive after you live in a system that is basically set up to watch you fail. And if you think that this system is not set up to watch us, to basically see us fail, you really, really need to dig deep into your fucking history that goes on all through your life that you hear about. You are always being told how there's a difference between you and Becky or whoever, whatever white girl or whatever white boy that you grew up around or went to school around. I went to a mixed school and I had a white boyfriend. I've had white boys have crushes on me, and hey, I welcome them. I mean, don't get me wrong, but there is a there's a difference between a white man and a black man. And every black woman knows this. There is something that black men have that white men don't have. And it's really not even so much in the color as it is something just embedded in the thickness of a motherfucker's skin. I really got to give it to y'all real, y'all. I'm sorry, but it is so annoying for as black women to ride or die with black men for as long as we've been on this earth, to ride or die with y'all, to come to an era in time where a black man will turn around and tell anybody who will listen how he will not date a black woman. And you will never hear a Hispanic man say this. You will never hear an Asian man say this. And you will never hear a white man say this. But you will always hear some ignorant ass nigga open up his mouth to explain his deep, thought out, bad relationship history so that he can somehow justify self-hate. No matter what you say, it is self-hate, because I am a reflection of you. Black man, I am a reflection of you. Okay? So if Becky had a nice house and a daddy and a mom, her total outlook on life is different from Keisha or Tanya or whoever else black chick that maybe didn't grow up with her father, that didn't get a chance to go to college because her parents didn't have the money, that had to live in these streets, that had to find a way to make shit happen, that has to constantly be guarded because you will be disrespected by your own men all the time. When black women don't have their fathers, that is a deep-rooted thing. That is a deep-rooted thing, to not feel the love of a man that looks like you. And then to go on to every other man, and you have all of this on you. You have all this negativity on you. You have all this history of just bad shit on you, and try to smile and be happy-go-lucky at the same time. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm so tired of this shit. It makes me want to fucking scream. I'm educated. You want to call me a bitch? You can call me a bitch all you want to. Okay? You can call me a bitch all you want to, but I need you to know that I have white, Hispanic, and Asian counterparts. I ain't never in my life met a white woman that didn't fit the criteria of a black chick in one way or another. There are always white chicks that have just as much attitude. They're just as much of a bitch as a black chick might be. But the only difference, and this is the difference of the races, not the difference between the races and the genders. And what I mean is, black people are, to me, innately more boisterous of their feelings. They are more boisterous of, protecting themselves. They are constantly guarded, and that's because we tend to have to be. It's like you in the back of your mind, you're already getting yourself ready for some kind of racism. Like, as a black woman, even though I've had a lot of y'all, and thank you so much, tell me how beautiful y'all think I am, and my man and my family and everybody I know and love tells me how beautiful I am. But when I'm in a room full of Caucasian men with my natural hair and my thick ass legs, I do not feel as attractive to them as I do in a room full of black men. I'm sorry, I don't. I just don't. It is a feeling of feeling like you're not attracted to them, so they're not looking at you. This is not true, though. I've had many white men approach me or even just hint at the fact that they find me attractive. Would they marry me down here? Most of them, probably not. Would they fuck me? Probably so. That's what we grow up. That's what we grew up in. This is the South, and that's basically what it is. We are fuckable, but we are not marryable or whatever, wife type to white men. They want to marry their Beckys who go to college just to find them so that they can get married and pop out babies and live their, 3.2, perfect house, dog, cat, picket fence thing. Like everybody wants. Black people, we are not always given those same opportunities as white people. We're not given that same lift up by being white. I don't care what y'all say. Black women, we have to work just as hard, just like black men. When y'all are in corporate America, when y'all work at these businesses, you notice the difference and you feel it. And I think that's bullshit how a black man could turn around and spit in our face like that and basically tell us that we're not good enough, even though we are a reflection of you. So if you don't like what the fuck you see, then maybe you need to work on yourself. And Charlemagne was on here, and Charlemagne always says what everybody does not want to say. So I kind of like Charlemagne, but he was like, black women have attitudes, but I'm fine with that. Just, I have an attitude. I have a mouth on me. But guess what? I was raised by a man that taught me to protect myself, that taught me not to be a dumbass broad. And as long as I grew up, I've seen women be taken advantage of because they were too scared to say what they wanted and what they needed. And I refuse to be one of those people. Now, I'm going to come at you as sweetly as I can. But if you cross the line with me, it's not going to be as simple as me ignoring what you said. I don't understand how, a black man, like, for instance, you'll have a conversation and he'll bring up the fact that he doesn't like to date black women. And when you get offended and hurt by this, you're being overly emotional. You're being a bitch. You're having an attitude with dude. You just basically told me that you look just like me, yet you do not want my entire race of women that are out here needing good black men that are educated, that have jobs, to have children with, and not have to be out here single parents because a dude has fucked them but will refuse to take the steps that it takes because he doesn't want to grow up and be a man. I just see these things all the time, and I'm always aware. I'm always aware of what I look like. And it's not because I'm crazy, it's because other people are aware of what I look like. It has been brought to my attention at my job that, what they call me, abrasive. I'm abrasive. But there's a white man who works there who does exactly the same thing, who will pop off in a fucking millisecond. But he's not looked at like that. He's not looked at in that same way as I am for doing the exact same thing, which is speaking up for myself and making sure that I'm not fucked over by nobody just because I'm young and I'm a woman. And also because I'm a black woman. It's like they automatically, they expect you to take bullshit or something like that. I don't fucking know. All I know is for all you black men that feel like we are not up to your standards because we have bad attitudes and we're not as adventurous, you need to open your horizons. You really do. You need to open up your horizons because I just don't understand how you can do to your own women what other people, white people, have been doing to you for your entire existence, which is making you feel less than you are. I just don't understand that. White women have been basically put on a pedestal for the entire history of America. White women have been put on a pedestal. They're not even to fuck. They're just to sit there and look pretty. Black women were to fuck, were to cook, were to clean, were to take care of the children. We are to do everything. And you expect us to be lighthearted and fluffy and want to jump off of bridges and suck your dick and eat another girl out at the same time. Like, you expect all of this. I think that's amazing. I think that it's amazing that black men are so quick to forget that when you were getting lynched for even looking at a white bitch, the black ones are the ones that took care of your fucking ass and fed you and wiped your ass. And just the audacity of you to have a black mother and open up your mouth and say that you will not date a black woman. So for a black man that lives in America today to have the audacity to really open up his mouth and put out that stereotype about us, I could punch him in the fucking mouth. Because I can just as easily stereotype you as being a weak-minded little dick-ass nigga. I really could. But I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. Because I believe that you cannot use a couple of experiences with a group of people and then basically put that on every one of them. Like I said, I have met some swagged out white boys. Not a lot, but I have met some. And I have met some that wasn't so swagged out that I just kind of, had a connection with. You build up a wall to these things because you just kind of know that they're going to happen. You just kind of know that they're going to happen. When you refer to as your job as the black editor or the African American editor, I've had this happen. I've had this happen where somebody didn't even know who they were talking to and said, "Oh, it's one of those black chicks down there." Just from a conversation. There was no ignorance involved. But because he was on the phone, one of those black chicks down there. It's only two of us that, well, at that time, it was only two of us that were down there. So it could only be one of us. But just, the fact that that's how we were, those two black chicks down there. That's how we were identified. Not as the photographer or the editor, but as the two black chicks down there. So I'm just, I really would like people to stop spreading this type of ignorant ass hate. Black men, please realize that black women come in just as many shades as white women. Okay? There are some that are submissive. There are some that will kick you in your fucking ass for even saying the word submissive. And there were some that will ride with you and will give and take with you like you're supposed to do in a relationship. You want a woman that's just going to give everything up to you, but you're not willing to give everything up to her. I don't know where they come from with this. Like, most of the white chicks that I've seen with black men were just as feisty as any black chick that I've met. So I don't understand that frame of mind. Mexican and Hispanic men, their women be spicy as fuck and crazy as fuck. But you don't never, ever, ever hear them say that they wouldn't date their women or they wouldn't marry their women. That's all they want is their women. Do you know how that feels to be the only race of women where your men don't want you? That is really fucked up. That is really fucked up. And I advise y'all to really think about the shit that you say to the next black woman before you say it. If you don't want her to pop off on you, don't say shit like that. Anyway, y'all, this went on and on. This is too long. So I just had to holler at y'all and talk about this. Talk amongst yourselves. Peace.